Good morning and how are you? Great to see you today. Today I have another unusual wine experiment. I have not made this wine before, so it's going to be a complete and utter new experience and experiment for me. Because if it ferments, why not ferment it and see what the end result is? So today we are making wine from Coca Cola, that classic brand, full of sugar, full of preservatives. How awful will it be? Or will it be beautiful, wonderful? I don't know. So first thing we need to do is go down the shop and harvest, forage, scrounge, buy 3 litres of your premium, prime, top quality, extra branded, Christmassy style Coca Cola. Fantastic. Then once you have those bought, you need to just think about the sugar and the preservatives that they contain. It contains a shitload of preservatives which you want to remove. So we're going to do that by boiling it up about 10-15 minutes on a nice gentle rolling boil. So grab yourself a large saucepan, one that's big enough to hold your 3 litres of Coca Cola, and pour in your liquid, your not so wonderful, your not so divine preservative sugar, acidic yucky stuff. I don't like it personally, as you can probably tell. If you love it, brilliant, you'll love this wine then. And just pour it into, way fizzy, your saucepan. Whoa. Normally you do try to degas a wine at the end of the fermentation process. But this is gassy, but the boil will get rid of all that gas for you, and it won't really affect the wine fermentation because it can be flat as heck once you've boiled it. Get all that foam stuff right away, and your other bottle. The beauty of shop-bought products like this to make wine with is that come the depths of winter and you have that itch you want to scratch to make a brew, but there's no berries on the bushes, there's nothing to harvest or scavenge. You can just go to the shop and buy yourself some stuff, some product, and make some weird, wonderful brews. Anyway, next thing you need to do, put your saucepan containing Coke onto the heat and bring it up to the boil. Because Coke is loaded full of sugar, we don't need to add as much sugar as we would do normally. There is 27 grams of sugar per 250 mils in the Coca Cola. So that works out to be 378 grams per 3 litres. Now to me, I want a higher level of sugar. So I'm going to be adding, just doing the maths here, about 1 kilogram of sugar, which should bring the alcohol content to about 13.72%, which would be a cracking wine. So what I'm going to do now, whilst it boils, simply pour in 1 kilogram of sugar into your stock pot and let that mix in, dissolve. Happy days, get that in there. Make it way bubbly. I wasn't saying that to bubble over. So with the 1 kilogram of sugar added, this will give us a wine of about 13.72% ABV, which will be a cracking strong wine. So whilst this starts boiling away, go make yourself a cup of tea and then come back to it after it's been boiling for about 10-15 minutes. And I'll see you really soon now. Grab yourself a brew. Now, I do have a few different options I'm thinking of about this brew. I might make various variations of this homebrew wine. One of the ideas I'm thinking of is to leave it as a normal, generic wine. The other idea is to ferment it, then carbonate it later on in the bottle so that it does turn into an alcoholic 13.72% fizzy Coca Cola. Now that would be awesome, I think. But now I just want to try the base wine to see how the tastes come and develop. And then down the line I might remake it and carbonate it, so if I do, I'll let you know about that one. So this has been brewing away for the past 10-15 minutes or so. And I can't say I'm overly impressed by the aroma. It's sickly, sweet, sticky, Coca Cola-like, which personally I don't enjoy. However, quite a few of the wines I've made over the past 10 years, I have not been excited about at this stage. This is only the raw product. This is not the finished article. So experimentation, trial and error is key to homebrew and any creative art. It's like alchemy, you don't know until you get gold at the end of it. So what we're going to do now is let this cool until it comes down to just above room temperature. So it's prime time to go and watch Jeremy Kyle and have that cup of tea. And I'll be back with you in a minute now. And we're back, and your Coca Cola sugar solution should by now have cooled down to just above room temperature. You want to be cool enough to put into your demijohn without the risk of that boiling liquid cracking your glassware. Nothing worse than having a shattered demijohn. That's like one less vessel you can brew with. So now what we need to do is decant your liquid into your clean, sanitised, sterilised, perfectly sparkly demijohn. Oh yes. So grab yourself your funnel or shiwi and start pouring in that solution of sugar and secret ingredients into your demijohn. Good stuff, fantastic. Ideally, without getting it splashed everywhere and getting really sticky and manky. What we want to do now is add a splash of cold water just to bring that level of the liquid up slightly more, because you only added 3 litres of the Coke plus the density of the sugar. So grab yourself a bit of water, so just add that splash and dash of water just to bring it up to the shoulder of the demijohn and cool it enough ready to add your yeast. Now, because we are targeting a 13.72 ABV, I'm going to be using a high alcohol wine yeast by Cross My Loaf. Now you could use a general purpose or a standard wine yeast for this, but because there's a lot of sugar in there, I don't want the yeast to become stressed and not be able to eat through it all and turn it into the alcohol which we're after. So sprinkling your wine yeast into your demijohn. You may also need to add yeast nutrient to your wine, because Coca-Cola, you may be surprised, does not have any nutritional value at all for yourself or for the wine yeast. It contains nothing that the yeast needs to actually function well and strive forwards and become a brilliant colony to eat through all that sugar. So if your yeast does not contain yeast nutrients, add some. Your yeast and your wine will really benefit from the added nutrients you add to it. So put a scoop of that in now at this stage. So what we need to do now is simply add an airlock into the demijohn. I don't have one out here at the moment, they're all inside, so I'll add one in a moment now. So bundle it up for a second and I'll go and get an airlock. But put an airlock in with your liquid and let it stand and ferment for a few days. And then keep an eye on the demijohn. It should start fermenting quite ferociously if you're using a good quality yeast with that sugar. When that initial fervid fermentation has taken place and it's calmed down and the froth has the foam has subsided, you can top it up again to the neck with cold water, then let it carry on fermenting until it's done, until it's finished, until your specific gravity is dropped right the way down and there's no sugar left over and it's all brilliant. At that stage, I'll be back and we will do a taste test of this wine together. Brilliant, awesome. And in the meantime, why don't you go and check out this video up by here for another fantastic homemade wine recipe. And I'll see you all really soon, and you have a good day now. Bye bye.